man, if my big ass head is shining, I apologize. Today is the day that the Lord has made. I'm gonna do my best to stay on target. In the talk. Today I want to talk about classifications. Peep me on this one, because it's for my brothers and sisters or peoples that are out there in the low end of the totem pole. That the main thing they concentrate on are the low 3 chakras. You know, sex, food, and instinct. Alright? This message is for you. I hope that I can make it all the way through without making 5 or 7 videos, because I feel the need to share my life experience with my 12 awesome subscribers and my 1,142 views, whether it was a mistake or on purpose. Thank you for your curiosity. This is my thing, man. In today's world, and I always started with in today's world, you will notice that everything you do is like some Dungeons and Dragons shit. In order to make any athletic team, you have to be cold, like culling the herd. They have to find out who's the best of the best, who's the top-notch breed. Now, this is not going on today, but this was going on about 15 to 20 years ago. Before first, second, and third place, kids started getting the same size trophy. So when you call the herd, you're calling the herd for the best of the best. And if you notice that you have issues with customer service in the hood, it's because they're not calling the herd for the best of the best. Oh, they can't. Because the only people that are applying for a job at Foot Locker or some Urban League store are the people who don't know how to give good customer service. You know what I mean? The people that are in that location that are applying for these jobs don't know how to talk to people, or don't know that a smile and a friendly face gets you more money, therefore maintains your employment, therefore the boss probably promotes you to the next tier or the next level in your quest on this game we call life. So what I'm talking about, culling. As a child, we go through school, girls like you, boys like girls, girls like boys. Then we go through the athletic portion. Most boys want to slap box, wrestle, who can run the fastest, who can jump the highest, who can hit the fence with one hand or with no hands, who can climb the tree the highest. These are all things that we do naturally as human beings. And then school comes up, and then you start to concentrate on grades. Now, the challenge you got to deal with in school are 3 things, all right? That is the ground, the atmosphere, and the elevation in which you wish to climb. The ground floor are other students that's going to pester you by the way you dress, by the way you talk, by what type of grades you got, what type of tennis shoes you got on, what type of fucking clothes you wearing, all right? Atmosphere is the neighborhood in which you dwell, or the area. You know, the air in which you breathe, where you're at, okay? And then elevation, that's based on the scholastic system that you attend, and also the students and the teacher's capability, and the students' wants and needs. If you are surrounded by people who don't want no education, I said don't want no, that are not trying to better themselves, whether they call the school state system bullshit, you need to be able to read, you need to be able to write, you need to be able to speak, and you need to know mathematics. If you know that, science is pretty simple. Every fucking thing you do in your life, including managing money, is pretty simple. I'm trying not to cuss y'all. I'm gonna try to work on it. People tell me I cuss too much, so I'm gonna try to work on it. So, if you got your basic food groups down, which is math, English, reading, speaking, man, you can get any job you want if you master those 4 qualities. Science, hey, if you want to work with nuclear fusion and work with physics and shit like that, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. How deep you want to get into certain levels of math and how deep you want to get into levels of science. You have basic algebra, you can balance your checkbook. You can do percentage of payments on cars and homes and stuff like that. So you don't need trig. I mean, it's nice to have because it's a college level event. But keep this in mind, people. Decimals and points. Can you put water in a decimal? Would you cut wood in a decimal? Only for arts and crafts and some fine bullshit. But when you really think about it, fractions and decimals, and I heard a young man say this on the net, kind of throws a confusion in there to separate the herd. Tell me, do you want 16 ounces of water or do you want 16.1 ounces of water? You see what I'm getting at right now? Is your house 8 feet wide or is it 8.5 inches? 8 feet and a half inches wide. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people who build stuff, to construct stuff, to sell stuff, guess what they like to deal in? Whole fucking numbers. Unless, of course, they have to cross-market their shit with European stuff. You know, but decimals and fractions really are a way to just keep your wheels spinning in your head. Shit that you really don't need. Matter of fact, when you learn the stock market and you learn to read the waves, you'll see what I'm talking about. Trust me. All right, so what I'm saying about classification, the first thing you got to deal with is your appearance. That's your appearance class. Are you attractive? Are you halfway, midway attractive? Or are you just ugly? That's the first class you got to deal with. I'm not trying to tell you how to fix it. All I'm simply saying, there's a lot of ugly motherfuckers in Hollywood making money. Somebody calling you ugly does not mean a goddamn thing. You cannot hide interesting and you cannot hide talent. I don't give a fuck how ugly it is. Hell, even the Elephant Man had a motherfucking movie. Okay, so when you're dealing with appearance, don't let that shit overwhelm you. It destroys women. Let me tell you this. When a girl sees a woman, let me tell you, most fellas, we think we look at ass and titties and the crotch and the V separation area. Let me tell you who looks at that the most. Women. Women have seen themselves in the mirror, so they looking and checking for any woman that's got more groceries than they do. Yes, more groceries than they do. Meat, vegetable, food group, whatever. Women are checking harder than men. Men are just checking body composition. Is she fat? Is she too skinny? Is she tall? Is she short? Is she taller than me? We're checking body composition. But women are checking everything, man. Breast, does her butt jiggle? Does she got a gap? Are her thighs muscle? Are they just fat? They're checking everything, man. So don't let body composition get you down. Now, if you badly built, you might need to work on that. If your father and your mother has failed you and they walked you or showed you at least some traditional exercise, because they probably didn't know no traditional exercise. I will tell you this, as a young man, if you are at a certain age, at least under 17 or 16, you should be mastering pull-ups, dips, push-ups, sprinting, high jumping, long jumping, and probably leg lifts. If you master that, you're gonna have a good looking body. You gonna have a good looking body regardless, man. Pull-ups, push-ups, dips, high jumps, long jumps, sprint, and leg lifts. You know, you're gonna have a great body. You have no choice. You don't have to grab weights and dumbbells. The next one is sports. Girls like to see guys play sports. Guys like to win. The one thing luxury about sports is that you can win without investing any money. You may not win no money, but you can have the winning feeling because you know you're the best. You have the competitive edge. That is a masculine thing. Women are competitive, but not to the point. Women like to win through intelligence. They like to win like, you feeling stupid now, ain't you? That's how women like to win. Men like to win through brute force and, you know, achievement and accreditation and stuff like that. Women do too, but it's a little bit different how we feel about being witty, which is the woman's side, and being a force to be reckoned with, which is the male side. All right, so unless you buy an expensive tennis shoes, you really ain't got to spend that much to play a sport. But if you're good, your body's symmetrical, your hand and eye coordination, and your mind is symmetrical, and you know how the sport works, you can win and beat any sport. Look at Michael Jordan. He mastered basketball, and Kobe mastered it by watching Michael Jordan. They got the same goddamn moves. Either Michael Jordan was possessed, and that goes winning to Kobe, and now it's LeBron James. They got the same identical moves, man. Check it out. Once you get past all that bullshit, now you got to deal with dating, finance, capabilities, and race. Now, race is something we've been pondering on for the past 173 years. And yes, it still does affect a lot of us, but not all of us. Because the true racists are the top 15 to 20% of the country. Now, if you meet a person that's not your color, they can't do anything to you financially, can't change the school you're going to, can't take your home from you. Pretty much what I'm trying to tell you, the motherfucker you pay your bills to, the people you fucking work for, who you buy your car from, that is an indication of racism. you're either denied a loan or you got the loan. You can either afford the car, you can't afford the car. You're gonna either live in this neighborhood or you ain't gonna live in the same neighborhood. The people that are next to you that's trying to get the same shit, regardless how many times they drop the N-bomb, it's fucking impossible for them to be racist. Because they are not a crucial impact on your financial capabilities, educational future. They're not. There's nothing that they can do for you or to you that comes to limiting you from things you want to do. But it does affect a lot of us. In other words, racism heavily affects you when you're captured or pulled over by the cops. Yes. Leave the motherfucking cops alone. There are some unstable people. I'm telling you this. Unfucking stable, man. Alright? Secondly, if you happen to end up in court and you've never put on a jacket or a suit or a shirt that buttons up that actually sports a tie, you're gonna fucking lose in court. I'm telling you this right now. If you have no idea, the only thing you know is a pullover polo, some jeans and some Jordans, and that's what you show up to court in, you're gonna lose in court, man. I'm just letting you know, whether you get a lawyer or not, you're either gonna pay a lot of money to win, which means you lose financially, or you're gonna lose time. Being there, being sentenced, and also paying a bullshit ass lawyer that can't fucking help you. Alright? Once you get past the race shit, then you gotta get past the social. This is the thing that gets us most, and we don't see it. When you look at social media, when you look at the news, when you look at television, when you look at movies, when you look at TV series, you listen to music, the socialization process is the strongest process on the planet. If you don't think you've been programmed, I'm gonna tell you how you know. If you're a white person and you're concentrating on every word that I say out of my mouth, you're programmed. Maybe you're using an active listening skill, but you're looking for me to fuck up or make a mistake. You're fucking programmed. Because you're trying to decide my level of education instead of listening to the fucking message that I'm giving you. If you're an African American person, or what I call an American African, all right? If you're an American African person, and the first thing you're looking at is how I'm dressed with my motherfucking tactical Baskin Robbins shirt on, this bullshit ass shirt Saul gave me, still Target, all right? If you're looking at how I dress, or how big my head is, or who this motherfucker think he is, you are programmed as well. Because you won't give people a chance to actually give you a gift or a blessing. All right? When dealing with social media works on the last 4 chakras out of the 7. It doesn't even work on your cognitive coactive thought process. It works on the last 4 chakras. Your emotions, your energy emotions, your emotions, your gut feeling, all right? Your ability to eat and your ability to have sex. That's all every movie concentrates on. You go to a movie that makes you be like, oh man, the Avengers are the shit. I wish I could be Iron Man. Or you go to movies like, oh, that is so sad how they lost that baby and they stayed together and adopted a child. You see what I'm saying? Or you watch a scary flick and you watch human flesh getting ripped to shit. Or you watch a commercial that says, eat late night, eat Wendy's. You understand what I'm saying? Or they always show women in sexy lingerie, which is an oxymoron, eating a big ass $6 burger. If she eats that shit, she wouldn't look like that. This motherfucker swallows cotton balls and Gatorade. You understand? So it's all about classification. Once you get past the socialization process, then you find out what true class is. Now, I'm not saying being a classy person or being a classless person. What I'm saying is true class is your ability to find your own fortune. Your ability to find your own fortune. Do you want to work for somebody? Or do you want people to work for you? Do you get enough education because you know what you need to do in life? Or do you get more education because you have no fucking idea what to do in life? Do you have talent? Or are you simply following the footsteps of somebody who went ahead or above you or past you that didn't get shit done neither? Classification. Where you're going to be, how you're going to get there, and what level of life are you going to live. If you're living past your means, not a good classification. If you're living in a dope-ass neighborhood, 3-4 fucking cars, helicopter motherfucking landing pad, and you are not making your bills, you are barely getting by because your ass ain't eating, you know, you live in Korea, a lot of Koreans do that. That's why the Gangnam Style song came out. They got shit in their house, got an expensive car, an expensive house. Motherfuckers don't eat, though. They don't eat. They rather live the high life and not be able to feed them fucking selves, all right? But before I go and I do part 2, classification is a very distinctive thing. Watch.